Hey guys, it's Will. There is one big thing that may be preventing you from success, and it is so crippling and is so important that you know what it is. And I call these things hidden mental barriers. Now, these things happen all the time, and these are things that are hard to identify and even harder to correct. And what these things are hidden psychological barriers that you have in your mind for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's childhood trauma, or maybe it's just deep down laziness, or whatever else it is. But these barriers prevent you from succeeding in life, and it happens all the time. Sometimes it's just laziness, and sometimes it's just not, really going out there and pushing through. But oftentimes it's deeper than that, and these things cripple people. For instance, a lot of people want to, start a business, but they never do because they have all these things that hold them back. And the most ridiculous examples, and these happen all the time, is when it's a very simple thing to do, and yet they can't do it for whatever reason. Maybe it's just simply, going out and, meeting and talking and reconnecting with a few friends, or asking someone for a recommendation letter or something else. Whereas, they're not scared of it, but for whatever reason, they will, on their own accord, block themselves from ever doing this. And that kind of stuff sucks horribly. So I want to give you an example from YouTube. Now, there's a couple people I know who have, either started a YouTube channel or have always talked about starting one. And yet they have still yet to really get the ball rolling. Some of them have still yet to even release a single video. Others have really just done it very lazily and maybe thrown together a few crappy videos here and there. And the thing is, they will not do it. Like, something is just blocking them from ever doing it. And you can literally sit them with these people for hours and logically explain to them, it's so easy for you to do this, it's so easy for you to record, but another excuse upon another excuse just pops out. And the truth is, it's not a matter of logic, it's about psychology and mindset. And literally, they have all these stupid excuses like, oh, I just don't feel good. Oh, it's too much of a hassle to record a video. And ultimately, when those things block your mind, it's no longer about, anything else. You have to deal with that psychology. And honestly, if they don't want it and they don't find it fun, then, there's no point. Like, if there's no point trying to force someone to do something. But it's very funny when they say that, oh, they're going to do this, or they're going to start a large YouTube, and they're going to be successful on YouTube when this doesn't ever happen. There's this one person who has a decent channel. He has literally posted random videos that it took him like 5 minutes to make, no editing, none of that stuff, which frustrates me because of how much time I put into some of my videos to get like 10 views. And he literally just does this and shares it off his Facebook profile or whatever else, and he gets a decent amount, 1,000 or 2,000 videos from zero subscribers. He's getting that because he has a decent network, I guess, and I guess his topics just are more interesting, or his videos are just more discoverable. And so he does this, no effort into editing his thumbnails, nothing. And he does fairly decent, and yet he's just like randomly throwing up stuff once every 6 months. And honestly, I don't think he will get anywhere. Occasionally, some of these people will be like, oh, I'll start this segment, I'll start a cooking segment or a health segment, and they never get to it. And if they do, it comes out really crappy, and they're never consistent with it. What's the point of growing a YouTube following and getting people to subscribe to you if you never release anything? Like, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from top YouTubers, like they say this all the time in their YouTube advice videos, and I've watched hundreds. So, you know, I know a little bit, I have a little bit of credibility. And so, one of the biggest things they say is consistency. Behind that is authenticity and like a dozen other things. But the biggest thing is consistency. And I mean, like it or not, you know, these people, for whatever reason, they will never be consistent. They're never taking it seriously. They don't realize the back end of how much work goes to YouTube, which, you know, one one shouldn't, you know, get angry at them for, because, you know, half the world assumes you know, YouTubers have it easy, which some of them do. Others, you know, they put in sometimes hundreds of hours of work to release a single video. I know that film theorists and game theorists do that, and they have millions of subscribers, rightfully so, to do that. So honestly, the point of this is, you know, figure out those psychological hidden barriers, and as far as actually trying to fix them, you may need accountability partners. You may need healthy, logical people that you look up to who can help you along, because you are biased yourself, it's very tough to, you know, unravel some of these things yourself. Although it can be done if you're just honest and you work through them, especially if it's something simple or whatever else. Maybe you can work through them, and these things can cripple you, whether it's in terms of exercise or starting a YouTube channel or whatever else. And honestly, you know, like it or not, they will, you know, people who have these, and perhaps my example, it's not really about psychological barriers. It's maybe just pure laziness or not taking things seriously, and that happens all the time, and it's rather unfortunate. But I guess what will happen is, obviously, the people who put in the effort will succeed. The people who don't, you know, they fall to the wayside. You know, they may blame other people. They may blame a lot of things. But the truth of the matter oftentimes is just the fact that they didn't put in real work on YouTube. You know, they made for 1 or 2 weeks, and then they go on like a 6 month vacation, and their subscribers forget about them. So it's one of those things where it's like, it goes back to, you have to love what you do to a certain extent, or you have to at least stay consistent. And it's stupid, and yet people do this. And so arguably, you know, I'm not mad, because at the same time, there are still so many people out there who are willing to put in that effort. So it's still a competitive field, especially because the barrier to entry is so low. You know, you only need like maybe your iPhone or your computer, depending on what you're doing, if you're a gamer or you're a vlogger, and that's pretty much enough to start a YouTube channel. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.